This is Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance, and pivot levels, and the Fibonacci's. It is Wednesday, the 17th of February. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, bullish start to the day here. Going to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 48,913 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 57.80. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 50s. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's swing high at 54.90 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Bitcoin test resistance at 55,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 52.357. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 47.336 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub 46,000 levels. Second major support level sits at 45.469. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bullish cross this morning, supporting this early morning upside. On the EMA, the 50 has moved away marginally from the 100 and the 200, also a bullish signal. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 48,913, break back through to 50s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, slightly bearish start to the day here. Going to need to Ethereum move back through the pivot at 1777, take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 1830. Going to see support, need support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out from yesterday's high at 1825. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum test last week's swing high 1877.88 and the second major resistance level at 1877. Failure to move back through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 1730 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 1700s. Second major support level sits at 1677. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bullish cross this morning, suggestive of some upside through the morning. On the EMAs, however, yesterday's late bearish cross to 50 through the 100 has supported this early morning pullback, so I need to keep an eye on that. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot at 1777, break back through to 1800 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, support levels are in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, also bearish start. Going to see Litecoin move back through the pivot at 218.77 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 221.35. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 220 levels. Barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 221.95 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, got last week's swing high 230.81 and the second major resistance level at 232.54 to cap any upside. Failure to move back through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 199.58 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of sub 190s. Second major support level sits at 189. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a narrowing of the bearish histograms, but we've not seen a bullish cross yet. Could see that happen this morning, so keep an eye on that. On the EMA, the 50 did narrow on the 100 and the 200, however, giving a bearish signal. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot at 218.77 and back through to 220 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollars, bearish start. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through the pivot at 0.5273 to break out from that 23.6% fib at 532. A move through the 23.6% fib would bring the first major resistance level at 0.5726 into play. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.58012 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Ripple's XRP test resistance at 0.65 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.6254. Failure to move back through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 0.4745 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.45 and the second major support level at 0.4292. The 38.2% fib at 0.4652 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a narrowing of the bearish histograms, but we've not seen a bullish cross yet, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, the 50 has pulled back from the 100 and closed in on the 200, however, giving a bearish signal. So key through the early part of the day, a move through the pivot at 0.5273 and the 23.6% fib at 0.532 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play.